So thanks for coming back to how to draw flowers ready for spring, and in this video we're going to do a daisy. My pencil ready. So it's going to be a daisy, and the first thing to do with drawing a daisy is like drawing in the previous two videos the rose and also the poppy. Start with a daisy that's going to be facing upwards, and I'm going to do a circle, more of an oval, because a lot of daisies aren't really wide, they're kind of more like a funnel shape. And then come from your centre. If you're having trouble, especially with these foreshortened petals at the front, draw everything coming outwards, and it will just give you a reminder of where your petals will actually be facing. So let's do the first edge first, or the short edge first, because that's often the most difficult for people when they're starting out drawing daisies and petals. So the dark lines there, as you can see, that's where we're going to draw those petals. And as it comes around, there can be some gaps in the petals, quite big gaps, but try and keep each petal in line with the spokes that you've drawn. I'm pressing too hard. I want you to be able to see quite clearly, so I'm pressing a little bit harder than I would normally. And then as you come around here, clearly they have to go back into the centre. So there you have your very, very simplified daisy that's pointing upwards. So you would have shadows on that, so let's pretend that the light is coming from here. I'll put light. So if the light's coming from here, the petals on this side will be in shadow. So there you go. That makes drawing and ready for your painting much easier. When we come in with a brush, we'll put more detail in those petals. Much easier to do it actually with the brush than it is with your pencil. And we'll worry about leaves and things like that later. Now, if we've got a daisy that is more open than that, I'll show you how to do that. So this daisy is going to be pointing in that direction. So just like the poppy, the centre of this daisy will be here. And again, do your stem just to remind you where the centre of that the daisy is. And again, if you're having trouble with the foreshortened petals on this side, do some spokes, just like a wheel, and then you can come around, and again, you can have some really big gaps. Don't have them all the same. You know, have some much bigger than others. Okay, so that is a very simple way to draw up your daisy. We'll have to make up where the light is coming from. So if the light was coming again from there, maybe in here when we painted, we would put some shadows. So you would put perhaps some shadows down there because the light would be catching the edge of the petals up there. This side would be in light because the light would be shining straight through. We don't have any turnbacks on those petals, so they would all be light, with maybe some little tones in between, but we will do them with our brush. in the next video when we paint a daisy. So to draw a daisy in another direction, so we've got one coming straight up, we've got one looking up but looking to the side. This one's going to be looking down. So another ellipse or a circle, and then because it's looking down, the center of the flower is here. So we're going to sort of draw a stem, just to, mainly to remind you where the direction of the daisy is going. And then we're going to do the spokes again. And then we're going to do our lovely petals. Okay, so there you have the daisy with a different direction. So if the light's coming from this direction, oh, I forgot to put here light, it's from that direction, we'll have the light again from that direction so that it will make it simple for you to pop in your shading. So all of these petals here will be in shade, so they'll be a slightly darker tone than the ones on the other side. They might even be casting a shadow across the daisy to there. So if we put a shadow there, you will be able to see how that will look when it's painted. So something else that I'd like to share with you is if you wanted to flip that daisy over, you would do exactly the same thing, but on the other side. The same with these. You could have that one pointing that way, this one could also be flipped over. So you can flip, flip. Another very, very important thing is, because we'll be painting this in my next video, when you're drawing up your daisies or any composition, it's always good to remember the rule of thirds. So if you divide your paper into 3 equal sections vertically and horizontally, okay, where these lines intersect, that's the best place for your focal point. Okay, so if you're going to do, say, a field of daisies or several daisies, you would pick one of these places for where your focal point goes, and not just for flowers, it's for anything else that you want to paint. So you have your largest, with flowers, it'll be your largest flower, will go there. You'll have the brightest colour, and you'll put the most contrast. So if you were having a pure white daisy, you would make sure you didn't put any pigment on it, and you would put really dark background behind that. So you'd have your lightest lights and your darkest dark together, and you'd also have your sharpest detail there. That's not how you spell detail, Jude. Detail. And there's another tip that I'd like to share with you, and that is connect your shapes. So always, so this here is correct. It won't look as good as this. Okay, so there you have it. So get some practice in, and next time we meet up, I will be painting the daisies for you.